I stood in the park near a big old fountain. The sun was very bright and hot on my face. I wanted to take a beautiful photo for my mother. I took my phone out of my pocket and looked. My first photo was very dark and not good. I tried again, but the light was too strong today. I saw a girl with a big camera near me. She looked at my phone and then at me. Her name was Eva, and she was a professional. I felt a bit embarrassed about my bad photography skills. Eva walked to me and said, "Hello, can I help?" I said, "Yes, please, my photos are very ugly." She laughed and said, "Don't worry, the sun is difficult." The fountain looked like a dark shadow on my screen. I wanted to capture the water and the blue sky. Eva said, "You are standing in a wrong place, Leo." I moved to the left, but it was still bad. My phone screen was difficult to see in the sun. I thought photography was easy, but I was wrong. Eva showed me her professional camera. It was very heavy. She told me about the light and the dark shadows. I listened to her because she was very smart and kind. The park was full of people and happy dogs today. I wiped the lens of my phone with my shirt. Eva said, "That is better, but the angle is wrong." She pointed to a place near the green grass. I walked there and looked at the fountain again. My heart was full of hope for a better shot. Eva was ready to teach me a great lesson. I was a simple tourist with a big problem. Eva took my phone and looked at the settings. She touched a small icon of a yellow sun. Suddenly, the screen became very bright and very clear. "Look at the water now," Eva said with a smile. I saw the fine details of the stone and water. She showed me how to focus on the fountain. I touched the screen, and the image became sharp. I felt like a real photographer for 1 second. We stood near the flowers and looked at the colors. The red flowers were very pretty against the green grass. Eva explained, "Light is the most important thing for art." I moved the phone up and down to see. The background became a little bit blurry and soft. This made the fountain look very professional on my screen. I took a photo, and it was perfect and bright. I showed the photo to Eva, and she nodded. I felt very happy because I learned something new. My phone was not just a phone. It was a camera. Eva said, "You have a good eye for beautiful things." I smiled because I was proud of my new photo. We walked to a small bridge over a quiet stream. The water was very calm and reflected the blue sky. I took another photo of a small white bird. The bird was fast, but my phone was faster today. Eva told me to keep my hands very still. I held my breath and pressed the big button. The photo was clear, and I could see the bird. I was a fast student and a happy traveler. Eva was a great teacher for a beginner like me. The sun was going down, and the park was orange. The sky was orange, pink, and a little bit purple. Eva said, "This is the golden hour for all photographers." The light was soft and very beautiful on the trees. Everything in the park looked like a wonderful dream. I wanted to take a portrait near a big oak tree. Eva said, "Stand near the tree
Leave a comment
and
under
look at
this
the
video
sky."
and one of
I
you
put my
will get
phone in my
40
pocket
English
for a
lessons
minute.
for free.
Eva wanted to use her big camera for this photo. I felt like a model in a famous fashion magazine. I stood near the tree and tried to look natural. The light was warm on my face and my hair. Eva looked through her camera and adjusted the lens. She told me to turn my head a little bit. I looked at the distant mountains behind the city. The air was cool, and the wind was very soft. I heard a quiet click from Eva's professional camera. I stayed very still and did not move my eyes. Eva said, "One more photo, please smile for me." I thought about my mother and my happy trip. My smile was real and very friendly for the camera. The sun was behind the trees, creating a long shadow. I felt the magic of the evening in the park. Eva was very fast and took 3 more great photos. I was curious to see the result of her work. This was the best moment of my whole vacation. The grass was dark, but the sky was still bright. Photography was much more interesting than I thought before. I was happy to meet a professional person like Eva. We were a good team in a beautiful park. Eva showed me the back of her big camera. I saw my face on the small digital screen. The photo was amazing, like a real piece of art. How is this possible? I asked with a big surprise. She told me about the rule of thirds in art. I learned to put the person in the side of the photo. This makes the image look interesting for the eyes. We practiced with a small bench near the path. I used my phone to try this new art rule. My photos looked better every single time I tried. I did not put the subject in the center anymore. Eva watched me and said, "You are a natural, Leo." I felt very confident with my smartphone in my hands. We talked about different colors of the autumn leaves. Yellow, orange, and red leaves were everywhere on the ground. I took a photo of a single leaf on a stone. The detail was so clear I could see the lines. I was not afraid of the light or the shadows. Every shadow made the photo look deep and real. Eva said, "Always look for a story in your photo." I thought about the story of a leaf in the park. I felt like I was seeing the world for the first time. My phone was almost out of battery, at 20%. I had to be fast for the last few shots. Eva checked her camera and had a lot of space. She invited me to see the fountain one last time. The water was now pink because of the sunset sky. I took a final photo of the pink water and sky. It was the most beautiful thing I saw in this city. I was a happy student of a very kind teacher. The sun was gone, and the park was a bit dark. I wanted to have Eva's photos on my own phone. She said, "I can send them to you very quickly." Her camera had a special Wi-Fi system for phones. I opened my app and waited for the digital connection. A small icon appeared on my screen with Eva's name. I pressed accept, and the transfer started at last. One by one, the beautiful photos arrived in my gallery. I saw my smile and the golden light on my face. I was so grateful for this wonderful and kind gift. "Thank you so much, Eva, you are very generous," I said. She said, "It was my pleasure to help a traveler." I looked at the photos again and felt very proud. My mother was going to love these professional portraits. I asked Eva for her social media name to follow her. She wrote it on a small piece of paper for me. I promised to tag her in my future park photos. She had thousands of followers and many beautiful images. I felt lucky to meet a real artist in the park. The evening was quiet, and the birds were silent. We walked toward the exit of the big city park. I felt more like a local person than a tourist. My phone was at 10%, but the work was done. I saved all the photos in a safe folder on my cloud. Technology was great when people used it for friendship. Eva put her big camera in her black leather bag. She was ready to go home and edit her work. I was ready to go to a cafe and see the photos. The first stars appeared in the dark blue sky. It was a perfect ending for a perfect park day. We stood at the big gate of the city park. The street lamps were bright and yellow on the path. I thanked Eva one last time for her great lesson. She said, "Keep practicing and looking for the light." I promised to take a photo every day of my trip. Eva smiled and waved her hand with a friendly face. I waved back and started walking to my small hotel. I felt a very warm feeling in my heart today. A simple photo session became a beautiful new friendship. I looked at my phone and saw the best photo. It was the photo of me near the big oak tree. I sent it to my mother with a short message. "I am happy and I met a new friend," I wrote. I walked through the city and saw many new things. I looked at every window and every lamp like a photographer. The world was full of frames and interesting stories. I was not just Leo the tourist. I was Leo the artist. Eva was probably already at her home with her cat. I hope to see her again in this beautiful city. Maybe one day I could buy a big camera like hers. But my phone was enough for a great start today. I reached my hotel and sat on the soft bed. My phone finally died and the screen became black. I did not care because the memories were safe inside. I closed my eyes and saw the orange sunset again. Life was good, and the park was a magical place. I was ready for a new adventure tomorrow morning. But first, I needed to charge my phone for more photos. Good night to the park and to my new friend Eva. This was a day I was going to remember forever.